Ulrich Lemmens Belgium. How are you doing?
Hi, Jeff. Hi, everybody. Great to see you again.
Yeah,
I'm doing well. A rough couple of weeks, a lot of traveling for the pigeons, but that's why I'm in the sport, so I like it.
yeah, it's been busy for you. I follow along on your Facebook page, and you have many things we can talk about, including an auction. You did a seminar, so we'll get into that. You have a new food, new supplements. So you're a busy man.
Yep. Too many things I like to do.
So, I think last time we talked, it's been about a year, and
Yep.
the Devil Goose was the first national celiac yearlings, right?
Yep.
And you had a really challenging season at that point. I think you had lost some birds to injury, and you were kind of
Yeah,
concerned.
that was this season and the past season
Yeah, you were
with the
kind of
old bird.
concerned.
Yeah, it was terrible. But and if you like me, don't raise too many. My team is small. Yeah, if you take out the best ones, you come in trouble. So
Yeah.
I have a lot of championships where I'm at the top, but not at the top where I want to be. And yeah, it's mostly based on bad luck, but that's part of the pitching game, right?
Right. Well, I wanted to say that despite some of the injuries and everything, you still had, fantastic results. It seemed like some of your other pigeons really stepped into that role and
Yeah,
showed
yeah,
up
but
for
I
you.
was also lucky to find some new pigeons. For example, the Stitch last year was a year he was injured. I saw him, I stitched him up, and yeah, he thanked me for that this year for one of the best birds I ever flew. So sometimes you also have the luck.
Well, do you want to start with the new foods and supplements that you've gotten in that you're starting with?
Yeah, whatever you
Uh,
like. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it's
Tell us
quite
about that.
simple. I've done that all my life. Everybody knows that. I worked with brands together. I developed food before, a very popular one, and now the company of Natural contacted me, and they gave me the possibility to renew. Like how you say in English, to put a science to it and see what's new and what's possible. Because that was a little bit with the previous brand I was working with. It was all good. It was selling great. They were happy. But I also thought there were some new things I wanted to try, and there was no more developing. It was good because it sounds good, and it stopped there. And now I have the chance, if I had the chance again, to develop something new, make analyzations of what we were doing. So what I basically did is with Natural, we went to a lab. All the products I used the past 20 years, or which I heard could be good, we scanned them, we ran them through what's in it, why does it work well, is it good, is it not good. With the food, the same. Of course, you have just a certain amount of grains you can use for pigeons, so you cannot reinvent a new seed.
Right.
But the mixtures and the fat amino acid ratio and stuff like that. So for me, it was fantastic last year to be able to do that. I've never been in a lab with guys who are speaking all those fancy words.
Right. Yeah.
But eventually, we put something together with Natural. Yeah, I have not my name on the brand. I don't sell it or whatever. I'm just, yeah, they call me the ambassador because I made it and I'm fine with that. But for me, it's just like a side project in winter time, which I like a lot. So yeah, the food, my basic mix, it's called Green Power Flex, and that's basically the same mix I'm using for 20 years, but just in a different bag. It didn't change at all, maybe a little bit. And then yeah, the biggest change is the energy mix, which we call Green Power Max, and that's really high in fats. It's a fantastic mix because I didn't have to look at the selling part or the cost of the product. So basically, the two best seeds for pigeons are peeled sunflower seeds and toasted soya beans because they contain a lot of fats and proteins, but they are very, very easy to digest for a pigeon. Which through the years, yeah, everybody knows how that digestion is one of the most important things. So my mixes now have a lot of those in it. Uh, yeah, and all the tests we did were good. We tested also small lots to achieve good results. So yeah, It went off well. The malting mix, it's very popular. I didn't expect that. A few people tried it, very happy. But also the same, I can say the same about the breeding mix again. High in fats, high in proteins, especially the malting mix. The malting mix, for example, has more fats in it than the average energy mix of another brand.
Wow.
Just to say, but the digestion is good. The pigeons don't get fat of it. They get the soft feathers, especially with the breeding mix. I made a few bets with the malting mix, a few bets with friends. One Avery we do, one Avery you use what you're using, and I could pick them out with my eyes closed. So you cannot reinvent pigeon sport or whatever, but it's just a good mix. The quality of the seeds is guaranteed, which was for me also very important, because you often see when brands do promotions and give discount, the mix is slightly changed. While they say it's not true, but you can't see it with your bare eyes. And then the products. It's basically what I used to use 20 bottles for. 20 is a lot, but in the past, for example, I used like 6 or 7 recuperation products when they came home, and that's now reduced to 1 or 2. And we just have a good basic immunity leader in there. And it's now, I think it are 5 products which contain everything. We have 1 for recovery, 1 for the build-up, and 1 for the basic immunity. And
When you when they were doing the tests in the lab, did anything stick out to you that was surprising, that new data that came out that you weren't aware of before?
Very surprising, because it's surprising what certain I shouldn't say it actually, but it's surprising what we believe is good for pigeons, which basically isn't. That's the conclusion. And also, for example, I have also now made a powder again with electrolytes in it. But electrolytes, everybody uses electrolytes, but we still don't know. There is no scientific proof that pigeons need that, because we as humans, we use it because we sweat. But the pigeon doesn't sweat. If a pigeon sweats, it goes with a beak like that. So we take electrolytes, salt, and sugars to rehydrate the body.
Right.
But with a pigeon, is it necessary? Of course, we need the amino acids. That's the most important thing. So I put the electrolytes in it because everybody knows it, and it doesn't harm them. But I don't see any scientific proof yet if it's necessary or not.
That's interesting. I've always, like you said, I've always thought that they pant like a dog pants. The
Yeah,
moisture leaves their mouth, so that's where the electrolytes come in to
they
help.
don't lose salt or whatever physically. So, but everybody has his own theory, and I'm not a person who's gonna say, oh, it is like that, or you must do it like that.
Right, right,
I
yeah,
can only follow my own, what I believe in and what I want to do, and everybody else is free to do whatever he likes. It's that
absolutely.
simple. But for me, if I can win 1% by doing this, I'm having fun, so that's already a win for me. But if I can improve my pigeons 1% with this, with one of those products, 1% means the difference between first or second price against 100 pigeons.
Yes, yeah,
It's
and
that
that's
simple. But
yeah,
there is no, I still didn't have a wonder product that makes them fly faster or whatever. And I noticed also, I've done it for years and with different brands, and the top financiers, they are at a certain level, and to create something that shows a difference, it's basically not possible to see that with the bare eye. It's more like a feeling, and a lot of financiers are, how you call that, like sporters who always wear the same short for the
superstitious.
game. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So, but I'm happy with it, and it all makes scientifically sense. The quality is guaranteed, which I think is important. Yeah, and that's it.
Yeah, the amino acids are amazing to help
Mhm.
recovery, and I think that's something that I've really applied is recovery as being the most important thing, coming home from a race and recovering.
You can only start building to the next race when the birds are recovered.
Right.
And
Yeah.
amino stones are the cornerstone of a body. In every product, I'll almost have amino acids in it because they just needed to help. It are the cornerstones of the body. It's that simple. And then you have, but I don't know the exact English name, but you have like a long long amino acids, short amino acids, and then we have a product now. Several brands have it, like Wonder Pigeon, for example, is great in that. There are several similar ones, and I think for the basic immunity of a pigeon, those kinds of amino acids are really important. And I added some herbs in it, like thyme and oregano and stuff like that. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
also what you feel is good.
Yeah. Well, that's
But I
great.
didn't make anything that makes them fly faster. If
No,
it
yeah.
was like that, I wouldn't tell you there were new products. But it does the job, and it's quite simple. It's also the dosage is like 2 milliliter on a liter of water, so it's very economic to use it. I try to think about things like that when we made it, and yeah, for me it covers the way I'm racing, and that's the most important.
If people want to get these products, where do we go to get them? Is there any
Oh,
sort of distribution coming to the United States?
yeah. I think at Manville imports natural products also.
Yeah,
They are already a lot
Seagulls.
of natural. They are the biggest company worldwide. But now the green power, it's slightly developing because it's only a few months on the market. But at the end, they want to sell it. It will be like that. But I think in the near future, it will be available in every country because natural, yeah, they have the biggest network of them all. So that won't be a problem, I guess.
Yeah, I've used natural products myself. I like their
Mhm.
pickstone a lot too to add to my
Yeah.
grit mixtures. And
That I also developed a new grit bucket.
oh, great,
Yeah,
perfect.
because uh, I use a lot of how you call it, stomach stones. You know that the white little stones.
Hmm.
That's actually the only thing I use for grit anymore.
Oh,
Because
really?
I in the past I would say, oh, the buckets are fantastic and they love eating it. But the reason why they love eating is because they put candy seeds in it,
Right,
and you give grit for the digestion of the pigeon so they can digest the food. And like the stomach stones, the white stones, they are harder to digest, so they last longer in the stomach, in the crop to digest the food. Because, for example, if you give red stone, it quickly digests. If you feed it in the evening, in the morning, you already have red droppings.
right.
And
That's true.
so that's my basic thing. So all every day of the week, they also the breeders they get only those white stones, which is quite easy and good. And then after race day, I went on race day when I come home, I developed a detox bucket. Why I call it detox? Because yeah, it's again the little white stones. There is no or yeah, no red stone in it, I think. But there's a lot of herbs in it to help the digestion. The detoxing, you want to clear the pigeon out. And then there is a lot of fuck. Oh, sorry.
No,
The
you can
how
say
you
that
call
here.
that the when you have, for example, an alcohol poisoning, they flush you with the black stuff that go from the coal mines. How you call with
Charcoal,
ashes?
charcoal ash. Yeah,
Yeah, charcoal. Yeah. So there's a lot of charcoal in it to help clean and take all everything and what they drink on the way home or whatever in the basket. And that's a bucket, yeah, which scientifically also holds on his own or stands on his own, and that I feed when the pigeons come home. But
right.
there is no candy seeds or anything to make it more attractive. It is just what it is.
Yeah, you're right. The candy seeds definitely get them going, and
Yeah, but the problem is with the buckets. It's in Belgium or in Europe. It's extremely popular. Every finisher has his own bucket with its face on and everything, and the pigeons love eating it. But we develop mixes that scientifically stand on its own, and they say, okay, you need to eat this to process that. And when you're gonna feed the bucket and they're gonna eat the candy seeds and the pellets out of it, they will eat less from the mix, and that you don't want because you develop the mix. They have to eat all of it to create a better condition and a better health. And if you're gonna feed them the buckets with the pellets and everything, they already ate too much. It's like you're gonna have a hamburger as a starter. You understand what I mean?
yeah,
And
yeah,
then
it's
you
too
go to
much.
the steak.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah,
doesn't work. Eh?
right. Yeah, that's true. I try to put some of the uh, it's Oklahoma red grit that's more it's not as soft as like the
Mhm.
Javati has the red clay. I
Yeah,
don't know the
Giovanni.
words, but Javati mixed with that red grit that has that
Mhm.
a little harder, stones in it that helps digest,
Yeah.
breaks down the feed because pigeons in the wild or birds in the wild, doves or
Mhm.
whatever, they eat gravel off the ground, that
Exactly. They
they.
don't find pellets or candy seeds in the field. Huh?
Mhm. So it does make sense. It's something to think
Mhm.
about for sure. I haven't thought about it like that, but in the United States, Siegel's Pigeon Supplies, Edmondville's place that will have
Mhm.
natural products, so people can keep an eye out
Mhm.
and probably contact them to see when they're getting some of
Yeah.
this stuff in. That sounds exciting. Tell us about your seminar because I think you were talking about these products at the seminar. It looks like I don't know where you were though.
Yeah, I was at a big shop in Belgium yesterday or 2 days ago. I did one last month because yeah, they want to start promoting it, and it's also nice for the pigeon fans to gather. And you guys also have a lot of seminars in the US, and yeah, I basically tell them what I told you now, quite easy and simple. Why I developed it like that, why I believe in it, and yeah, and for the rest, I just say what I think. Also,
Yeah,
natural doesn't always like it because of course, for them, it's a selling business, which I
right.
totally understand. But for me, I also give a lot of yogurt to my pigeons, which costs nothing. Of course, they prefer me to advise another product for selling, but you
Yeah,
know how I am, and I
right.
say what I think, and
Yeah.
that's what you get with me. And but yeah, it was the seminar also was good. A lot of people there. I think over 80 people, and a lot of interested people. A lot of people who trust the process and immediately bought a starter kit to try. Of course, I'm doing it for 20 years and everybody appreciates it. I do it on basic common sense and I know what I can and what I cannot do. I'm not a scientist, so I go look for the people who can use the expensive words and make it all happen.
Hmm.
But the end product is what counts. And
Right.
with when I had the Galaxy Light, the Galaxy line with Bears also, that was one of the biggest impacts in Belgium. Too bad I didn't put my name on the brand, but and people know that, and now they see I developed something new. I'm honest about it. It's not, I cannot invent new seeds, but I think the mix is better. It makes more sense. It's adjusted to the new way of racing because our birds also fly a lot more miles than in the past. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. We expect more from our pigeons now than
exactly.
in the past for sure. Were you nervous being up against standing up in front of 80 people and talking about it?
Oh, I honestly like to do it better abroad because there were a lot of Belgian superstars sitting there. Also, for example, Eddie Noel was there. He's the founder of ID, of the, yeah, how I say, the Rolls Royce of the mixers, the high end mixers, with a lot of top financiers follow his advice. He is very known for his wisdom about it. He can use the expensive words which I can't. So, but it means it means something to the people they are interested in. Of course, that makes me nervous because I'm saying the way I'm flying. I always say this is the way I do it. It doesn't have to be the way I do it, but sometimes it makes me nervous. You have to speak to people who actually fly better than you, and then
Right.
I think it should be you standing here.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I've done it a few times in my life, so I'm used to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you, with all your success, you know, everything that has happened the past couple years with, your climb to coming to the national level again and getting to the top, it shows that you know what you're doing. And again, like we always say on this show, there's not one way to race pigeons. You can race pigeons
Exactly.
many
Many
different
ways lead
ways.
to Rome.
Yes,
It's
so
that simple.
everyone wants to hear about how others do it and discuss it and debate what
Anything
works.
is that is said you can pick something from. And to give you an example, I made a partnership with Jos Adamy last year. He had the national ace pigeon of Belgium sprint. He is, I think, 20 years, 28 years in a row champion of my club on sprint. So he knows how to fly sprint. So last year I said, okay, we will do it. I will also fly sprint. So he went to my loft. Excuse me. I copied everything. He was here to help me, and it didn't work. It didn't work. And then I said, I stopped. I sent them to the national. I opened the loft. They went through my other birds. They came in my system, and they start flying on the sprint. And that's also something remarkable because I had, yeah, it's the first year I fly a whole year sprint with a small team with 6 birds. and the results were really, really good. For a first timer, because for me, I'm a rookie in that. But the pigeons on Tuesday, they're fed up for the 500-mile race. On Wednesday for the 300-mile race, So they get a lot of energy mixes. And you still see me?
I see you. Can you
Ah,
see
yeah,
me?
because yeah, it said something of hand gestures or something. Sorry.
Okay.
No, and I basically feed my sprint pigeons exactly the same as all the other birds in my loft. The only thing we have the 350 miles is basket on Thursday, and we basket sprint Friday. So what I do on Friday, I have a full tray from the day before with energy food in it, high fats, and Friday 9:30 I take it away. But because they're fed up the day before, they actually don't eat anymore on Friday. So they basically get no food on basketing day. But the results are good now, and I won't change it.
That's good. Yeah, that's interesting how, different systems work better for others and not for others. You never know. You got to try things out and see if it
Yeah,
works.
but pigeons have to adjust to your system also.
Right.
That's it. My system on food and products, that's for me top level in my opinion. But I'm sure that motivation and stuff like that, I'm not there yet. Also because I'm not really interested in that, but because I more care about natural health, immunity, strong birds, raise them hard, and just play the natural selection game, and the best one will survive in my love. But I think if I follow another system, my own results could be maybe better because there is still room to improve. But on the other end, I also 100% believe that my references, which other people win with my birds, that's where I stand out. That's where I'm maybe one of the best. And I think that's because my pigeons are easy to cross, and maybe because of that basic health and basic immunity, they come a little bit better out of a long quarantine. They come in a loft where they use medicines, and they adjust better. That's my guess.
Yeah, you post your references on Facebook. A lot of
I
one-off
like bragging
races.
about that.
Well, no, you have had a lot of success, and you have to show people what they're doing. But the one-off races, they seem to cross well for that, and looks
Yeah,
like
but yeah, that's the basic bloodline of the girls. But yeah, with the references, that's what I like the most, because I know I'm not the best flyer of Belgium. I have decent results, but I can name you many who I think are flying much better and sell much more pigeons. But at the end, if you buy a pigeon, you buy a pigeon to win. And if
yeah,
I can make you help win, that's it.
yeah.
Of course, these days people like to buy a fancy pedigree and stuff like that. That's also not my business. But I like what I'm doing, and as long as I am having fun, and it's very simple. People subscribe to my page. The ones who don't like it, they unsubscribe, and it's not
Yeah.
not more difficult than that.
Yeah, I think people should follow along and take a look at your results, not only for you, but for your, people who have purchased your pigeons and won loft races and in
Mhm.
China. And, when your birds do well around the world, that speaks to their genetics, and it's
Mhm.
impressive stuff for sure. And you always put out fun, fun content. And for someone obsessed with pigeons like I am,
Mhm.
it's fun to follow along. People should do that for sure. Speaking of the sprint pigeons of Adami, I was at your loft. Ken Crater and I came and visited,
Yeah,
and you showed us around your beautiful lofts, and you have an awesome breeding loft with a lot of great individual pens. And we went around, we went down the hallway, and to the right, you had Joseph's birds there. You showed
yeah.
us 774. You showed us his father. I think there may have been
Mhm.
a brother, but
Yeah, the brother.
uh,
That's the yeah.
yeah, but the father. Uh, was just super in the hand. You can tell why 774 is such a nice pigeon when you
Mhm.
handle the father. But I believe you have 774 there, don't you?
Yeah, I put them in the basket.
Yeah, let's take a look at let's
774. He's the national ace pigeon of Belgium, KBDB Sprint. So that he have the same title like Best Kittel himself, Blizzard, all those famous Sagan, all those famous sprint
Sagan. Yeah,
birds. He's exactly the same. He did the job. He had the lowest coefficient of Belgium that year. But he has no famous pedigree because Jos Adamy, he had his own pigeons. he has his own bloodline without knowing it. And yeah, now I introduced his pigeons. We make a cooperation, so I breed. All his breeders are now with me because he was scared of theft. Here it's like Alcatraz, so they're more safe. And
Right.
last year, for the first time, we bred for together. So I crossed them. I said because without him knowing, he had a really inbred strain, most of his birds. So I crossed them with mine. And Josh Adamy is this year for the first time in his whole life champion with the young birds.
Oh, wow.
So
That's
and that are those
incredible.
crossings. So the first results are really really good. And also the children of 774. Yeah, we only flew like 3 or 4 and they all have top results so far. So that's 774.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's
Describe to the viewers what he's feels like
well,
in the hand.
it's a bigger pigeon because it's you can he is quite big, but the balance is perfect. You if you see the back, it's
Hmm.
it's yeah you hold it, you handle him yourself. You can put a pile of beer on his back. It's
Well, and he's very buoyant.
yes, and also now I have top results on the 300, the 400 also already with this bloodline. So for sure they're gonna be they can do everything crossed. But yeah, it's also if you see his chest bone, it's like a finger. It's so
Hmm.
yeah, he have everything. And the father and the brother, 236, his brother was 10 times first prize, no doubles. My two best young birds this year are two grandchildren of him. And the best one with Adam, he was a direct child. So yeah, but you see, he's always looking around as a very, very special pigeon. Otherwise, yeah, you don't become national ace, huh?
Yeah, that's an
So
incredible bird. I remember how he feels in the hand. He's just
yeah.
he does
But
have the bigger frame like a sprint pigeon, but
yes,
he's
but
not
I have
heavy.
now with it by coincidence a late bred in my loft, and it flew like 7 races 7 times in the top, and it's a little hen, but it was I tried to cross it with my smaller hens, of course, but
Right.
the children turned out to be fantastic because the problem in the beginning was everybody wants to buy, and of course we like to sell, but everybody wants an Adami not crossed inbred. And when you do the inbreeding, they get really big because you
Yeah.
saw the father is big, the
Right.
brother is big. His mother was almost the same size as him because the hands of Joss are crazy big. And now with the crossings for winning races, it's been fantastic so far. Also,
Well,
the first pigeons we sold, we get references. So uh, I'm really happy I made the deal with Joss because you can feel after 1 year it will be another improvement to my own loft, but also now with the young birds and Joss's loft, the results are much better already. So yeah, it will be
yeah.
fun next year. We have a few more to race.
Well, I just wanted to say too for the new guys who aren't sure about pigeon health, when you look at 774 right there, his feathers shine, his wattle is snow white. When the wattle is snow white, that means their respiratory is in
Yeah.
good condition, their digestion is good. You can just see the alertness. Those are the type of things that you want your breeders to look like when because here you all are in the same boat, but everyone's breeding, getting ready for
Mhm.
2026. If your pigeons look like that, you have healthy pigeons ready to go,
Yes,
ready to
but
breed.
the proof is already there because I paired up my breeders the 27th of November and 8th of December, the last couple laid eggs. It's my best breeding year ever because most of the times my pigeons they lay slow and but now yeah you also feel it when you come in the loft. The pigeons are more noisy and alert. Yeah, I had a good malting. Maybe it's a new mix. I don't know. But yeah, when I paired them up, they looked fantastic because I was 2 weeks in China. I came back and I handled them and wow, they were. I said I paired them up immediately. They're ready and they laid very well. So that's the first good sign. Eh?
Yeah, that's incredible. That's exactly
And
what
my
you
breeding
want your
loft is
breeders.
totally open. Eh? That's also something important to me. All my lofts are one big aviary. Eh? Like my breeding loft, it has no side walls in it. It's all open with the draft screen, so all the oxygen can go in and go through the loft
Right.
as close as possible to nature.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and they look super healthy. Tell us about Stitch, because you have Stitch there
Ah,
as
but
well.
yeah, that's all. Yeah, that's a small story. You know, with every good bird comes a story. So last year I had some late breds where Devil Goose was also one of them, and he won the national. And the first time the stage 823 was flying good, and he was one of my favorites. And he climbed up, and then I get the first 500-mile race. I said, now it's gonna happen. He's gonna be there. So I put him second nominated. That much faith I had in him. One pigeon didn't return him.
Yeah.
Said, oh, yeah, probably too weak to do it. No. But 2 days later, he arrived in the loft and the whole chest was open. I didn't know if you saw the pictures on my Facebook, but so I had to sew him up, stitch him up. That's why he's now called a stitch. And I stitched him up. And because I don't have many pigeons in the loft, I kept him in there to have the other cocks some interaction in the loft. And at one point, several weeks later, he started fighting in the loft, and he'd fly out and train and do crazy stuff. And I said, look, I will basket you to a race. If you come back, you can stay and you get another chance. Next year, if it's not good, yeah, I remove you. It's that simple. So I went to a club to Kivray. Impossible for me and my location to fly on a midweek race. So 1,000 birds on that side, and I'm on an island all alone. But for me, it was not for the performance. It was just to train my birds and see what happens. And yeah, the day later, bam, he was, I think, 2 or 3 minutes ahead of what our area considers impossible to do. Even my friends from over there, they texted, is it for real? And I said, yes, of course. And
What
then I
was the
said, with
distance?
such a
The
100
distance?
mile, yeah, 100
Yeah.
mile race on a
Yeah.
sprint race.
Wow.
And I said, if you can do that in that circumstances, against the wind, against the bunch, against the release, you must be a special bird. I put you in my sprint team next year. And we try. And I put him in my sprint team. And yeah, as soon as we hit the 200-mile races, he every week he was there. And then I slightly motivated him also because I moved him to another section. And then at the end of the week, I let him go in his whole section. And he fight there a little bit because he's a very aggressive cock. And yeah, he is now third provincial ace, 20th of the country. So yeah, this is him. The same type as the goose, the same color also. You see a little bit darker blue.
Beautiful, beautiful pigeon.
Yeah. And I was a little bit lucky and also unlucky because he was paired to my best hen. The 1st of June, I have the first ace pigeon of the Federation, 150 members, on 100 mile and on 200 mile. But they were paired together. And what happens? One race, the 100 miler is released after the 200 miler. So normally his hen is already home when he arrives. But now he arrived to an empty box. He wins second or third prize. An hour later, the hen comes home, no problem. But he had one bad result this year, like in the middle of the pack. And that was then. So I said, oh, it's because the hen wasn't home the week before. I think, it's
Right.
just a feeling. So
Right.
then I took the hardest decision of my life and I kept the hen home for 5 weeks. But it was my best hen. So
Yeah.
it paid off because, hey, he became third provincial ace. I win all the championships. In the first year I fly sprint, I'm the third champion loft of the province of Antwerp. So yeah, it couldn't be better for me as a new sprint flyer with only 6 pigeons on the sprint races. And then when the criteria were done for the ace, I started this hen again, and she won fifth, third, second, and then 3 weeks in a row first. So she basically have the same coefficient as him, but it's after the championship, so it doesn't count.
And
So it's
tell
funny when
tell
you
us
pair up 12, 6 pairs that your 2 best are paired together.
absolutely. And tell us about how he feels in the hand.
Oh, he's a little bit, yeah, you see he's very nervous. He is yeah, it's more like a triangle shape. You see
Right.
that he's a little bit shorter on the body and a little bit deeper. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but he's a little
Yes.
bit more deep than my pigeons. Normally they're longer. You also see, yeah, he's very nervous. His tail go left, right, but he have a strong back and the vent bones
Yeah.
are closed perfectly. Yeah, he flew as a yearling 500 miles, so He can do everything. It's an inbreed to the Gust. So actually, for sprinting, if you look at the pedigree, it's perfectly bred because it's the goose paired with a local sprint bird, crossed with the goose with a local sprint bird, and then the mother is again goose with a local sprint bird. So it's actually 3 times crossed again with a different bloodline of sprint birds, and then put back together. And yeah, so yeah, it was a good formula. But you see also the expression in the loft. He's the boss. He constantly is nervous and but yeah, he did it. I'm very proud of this bird because Antwerp is considered one of the best sprint provinces of Belgium, and to be for your first year in the provincial championships with the ace and the championship, it's not bad for a young guy like me.
Oh yeah, that's an incredible result. And again, in super health, the wattle's white, looks alert. Just
Yeah,
that's what you want your birds looking like during this time of year when you're going to be
yeah. The
breeding.
feathers are also. You have a lot of feathers. That's the he. If I have to compare the model, it's like the father of the ghost.
Hmm.
That's basically how he handles. A little bit smaller, but the depth and the wing and the feathers is just like the father of Gust.
So will you take Stitch now and he's in the breeding loft, or will he
Yeah, I
continue to
already moved
compete?
his first set of eggs yesterday.
Good.
Yeah, he's now paired to the first provincial block. It was a fantastic racing end for me. A little bit inbred to Leo 003 from Hermans,
Right.
with a little bit of Gust also in it. So it's a little bit family, but I took her because it's one of my fastest ends, and I want to try his children first on sprint, see what happens. So
Right.
because the same hen last year was with Devil Goose, I put those youngsters on the side, so we will see.
Yeah, well, that's exciting that you're taking on something new and already having success with it. And, I think that's part of the fun of pigeon racing is new challenges and testing yourself. And
Yeah.
so
I
that's
always
great.
make clear goals for myself. I have an ambition and I have a vision. For me, the most important thing I fly pigeons is to create an all-round bird. That's what I've always said. I said it should be possible to win a sprint race and a marathon race with exact the same bird. And I'm getting very close. I already have a few birds who've done it, which is on paper they won a 100-mile race and they won a 600-mile race. So it's possible, and it's just the way of breeding. And what I just explained about Stitch crossing 3 different kind of sprint birds in him, in the family of my own. I did the same with the marathon, but then with long distance birds. And this year I flew Barcelona again. We had 3 in the top 100 national. I think 7 or 8 quite good in the result. And from my 8 first birds clocked, 7 of them have the gust in it. So they're all crossings from the same basic bird.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's incredible. And first national Suliac yearlings, Devil Goose. Let's talk about him and give the people a look at what he looks like. And what's fun about him is I think you showed us him and some of your other racers before that happened because we were
Yep.
there. I mean that to me is as beautiful of a pigeon as you'll see
Yeah,
with the coloring and everything. Then you get,
yeah,
of course, the results.
but I don't know if you can see it on the movie, but his vibration of the wing and the muscle. I only have one pigeon in my life who do like that. It's like a vibrator. The muscles they are constantly. But he was born when I weaned him. I listed him as favorite, and when I put them a chip ring on, and now with the pass system, it's a fantastic system now. You can control everything from your computer. You can name the birds or whatever. And his name until the national win was always the favorite. It's
That's
always
great.
been the favorite.
That's
But
great.
yeah, I don't know if you can see it on the movie, but it's the vibration. If you see his chest go,
Yeah.
it's yeah, I don't know, but everybody who comes here says always, "Oh, I've never seen that before." But it's a special bird. It's my 2 best bloodlines, King William and the Gus, together on the father side, and the mother is a hen from Yellow Rose Ears.
Yes. And that's
So
two super families crossed together.
yeah, but me and Yellow, we already did some joint breeding because he also his national aces in Romania have my bloodline in it. The super bird from Bruel is from the joint breeding. Now this year we bred together again because yeah, me and Yellow we have been friends for many years and visit the US together. But Queen L Her foundation is Theo Scout. And the Gust's foundation is also Theo Scout. And that's where we match, because if we go 20 generations back, it's probably family.
Right.
But yeah, the birds go well together. But yeah, this is, everybody is a little bit surprised. He's quite big for those distances. But yeah, he did 3 national races and 3 times the top result with winning the national. Plus, what makes him special is when he won the national, people were already celebrating on the other side of the country, because they basically thought it was impossible in my area to clock an early bird. If you look on Pipa, there is a nice map, and all the dots are on the left side of Belgium, and then you have one, and that was him.
Tell us
So
the distance for celiac for you.
yeah, 750 kilometers. So that's about 500 miles, something like that, 510 miles. So yeah, the 1 day races in Belgium. It's one of the longer ones. It was a very hard one. But yeah, I was so happy. He lost 1 minute on the roof because he's first national yearlings, but the second fastest of the pack, Vandenheden, the best finishers of Belgium, they had the
Right.
first. But I could have had, maybe their pigeon also didn't drop, but I was so surprised he arrived. So yeah, I
It's
think it will
always
be the new Gust. I am putting. I didn't raise any youngsters yet. Everything is going to the breeding loft. Yeah, of course, I have to sell also a few to make my money, but I'm really confident it's going to be the next super breeder. And the first fact is, his nest brother won 14th national Pache, and I breed 2 babies from him, and I win the final race of the Carmelo Yupi one loft race in Spain. It's the only race I sent last year, and I won it with his nephew. So this is 666, and the brother is 665, and the child, oh, coincidence, is also 665.
oh
So
wow, that's great.
665 won the final of the one loft race. And the next brother, he was, I think, fifth in the semifinal. So 2 out of 2 good ones from the Nest brother already.
So just to let people know, pedigree wise, Devil Goose uh, is a grandson of the Goose.
The father is a grandson of Gust.
Okay.
So it's
So
King
he's a
William.
great,
It's
great, yeah.
my. It's easy in my pedigrees. When you see a pedigree, the pink boxes are all related, and the yellow and the blue boxes are also family. So it's a pink box with a yellow box. So King William with the goose, and yeah, the mother is from Yelly, a daughter of Acheron. You have now also a Pipa auction with a child of Acheron in it. So yeah, good one with
So
a good one.
you have the cannibal in the King William's pedigree.
Hmm.
You have the goose in the mother's pedigree, grandmother's pedigree,
And the
uh,
goose is also cannibal. So it's actually the father side. It's inbreed cannibal.
which is one of the best pigeons of all time, in my
For me, it's the
opinion.
best pigeon all
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
Plus, it's also never commercialized. The cannibal became the cannibal because it was good, and
yes,
everybody wanted it because it was good.
right, yeah. And then inbred Queen L from Rogiers
Yeah, from
is what you
you.
crossed it on.
Mhm.
And yeah, no, there's so much super birds in this bloodline for him to then do what he did on Celiac's
Yeah,
impressive being a breakaway like he did way off to the east side of Belgium. It's all very impressive. Then you add the fact that it's a beautiful pigeon. That pigeon
yeah.
that
That's an
that pigeon
extra
is good
because
on the eyes.
normally in my situation, I sell a pigeon like that. You know, the Chinese come and you sell it because I have to live off the pigeons. You have to be honest about it. But this one, I said I will never sell. The same like with Goose. I never say never, but with normal stuff going on, he will stay here because I'm 100% confident it will be my new super breeder.
What about him made him your favorite when you weaned him as a youngster?
Yeah.
Because that is something people
Body
want to
wise,
know.
he is like a rock. It's like a moving rock. You take a rock and it's like there is a vibrator inside with it. Yeah, I cannot explain it. I bred 1,000 birds in my life, maybe more, and I never seen a bird like that. I had Chris van Massenhoff. We have the National Ace Pigeon Sprint this year. He's a club member. He was here a few weeks ago and he wanted to see him. I go get him from the loft and he took him and he gave him back like this to me because he was afraid. He said he's gonna die. I said, no, it's like that. I don't know him. Maybe he have a bad blood flow or whatever, but that's what makes him special. And the wing also, it vibrates. and his interaction in the loft. Yeah, he's so clever. It's yeah,
That's great. Well, if people are seeing this and want to buy something down from Devil Goose, do you have an auction on EPA Europe
yeah, yeah. That's
going
currently
on
running
right
until
now
Saturday. Yeah, there are
until
two
this
children
Saturday?
in it.
Yeah.
And there is one of what I said with Jolene, who is paired to the Stitch now. There is one child of her paired to Devil Ghost. It's my favorite of the year. But yeah, if you see at the Devil, I'm good at picking my favorites. But uh, yeah, it's an auction. We have to try to sell something every now and then. But
Well, and
yeah.
not only are there children of your first national celiac, but there are birds on here that had incredible results themselves, right?
Yeah, that's a little bit. Yeah, look, I didn't do an online auction for several years, and I wanted to do one. I got a lot of requests, and I said, okay, I will do one with decent birds. So I took a few of my best races, like my 12th national Limoges, 19th national Tullus in there. My second nominated bird, together with Stitch, my good grizzle one, who have I think 20 prizes in the top 15 or something. A really good sprint bird. 808 two-time winner. There are a few special ones, and then I have some breeders of my one loved race birds. Top 10, they bred top 10 aces in Europe on one loved races or top 10 final winners. Yeah, they are 2, 3 year old birds. Of course, they are breeders. Yeah,
Yeah, a lot of times in auctions, you're going to get children of superbirds or grandchildren of superbirds.
yeah.
You're offering direct children of your best racers and birds that have actually raced. So people need to go check out. It's
Mhm.
epaeurope.com, and then you can click on the auctions, and you'll
Mhm.
see Ulrich there.
Yeah, they all have proven results. So there is no discussion is it good or bad because they are proven.
Yeah,
Except the two children of Devil Goose. It are all proven birds with a record, either a breeding record or a racing record. So I think it's a nice group. Of course, I'm a little bit unlucky now with the situation in China, but it is what it is. We will see Saturday, and uh, the past learned me that whatever happens happens for a reason, and at the end you get rewarded for it. You know, it always ends well. You just
what's
need to give it some time.
what's the situation in China?
Yeah, they have arrested one of the biggest, or maybe the biggest broker of China.
Hmm.
So that's not a good situation for the sport, but yeah, it's money laundering, tax
Mm,
thing, the smuggling of the transport and stuff like that. Yeah, you always have people who run on the border of. But of course, it has a big impact there because he's a guy. He has a racing loft in Belgium. He has many contracts, exclusivity contracts of finishers where he buy all the birds, and so at the moment the situation is very nervous because
sure.
people don't know what's going to happen. But yeah, it happens every few years. We saw that with several Chinese brokers. If they cross the legal borders, then yeah, China is not the most easy country either. You have to be
Yeah.
honest about it. If they are strict on the rules, you have to follow the rules. We all have to do that.
Yeah, I had not heard about that. That's pretty wild. Looks like Herbots released their championships for 2025. Um,
Yeah, that's a side championship, and they organize it themselves. They sponsor it. They have their own criterias. It's like a point system. It's a nice way of calculating because it gives smaller finishers also the chance to compete. And it's a fantastic ceremony also. I think they give away the biggest and the most trophies all year. So if you like trophies, you have to participate there because yeah, it's with a banquet. And I think last year they started a few years ago in the small hall. Now it's massive. It's a very nice big event they organize. And you see also now more and more famous people are participating because it's not a calculated championship, so you have to send in your results on a weekly base to get the points. But yeah, we
fourth
are number
national,
4 now this year on
yeah,
the long distance.
fourth national champion long
Yeah,
distance in the
last year I
state.
was first, so I moved down 3 places.
Well, you're also working on different disciplines as well. So
Yeah, that's the nice thing now. I'm fourth on the long distance, but I have 8 on the short or something, and several on the sprint and on the middle distance. I have several classifications, not always in the top, but many in the top 30. And if you see how many people are participating, I'm proud of it. It's nice, and we have a reason to go to the party and can collect some trophies. So it's always nice.
Well, what is the current goal with the breeders? How many birds are you wanting to raise for your race team?
Oh, it will depend a little bit because, like we have a new border in Belgium, a new KBDB office, so new president and vice president. Everything changed. There are some rumors of a real new ideas of zones and sections, which would make the pigeon sport more honest in Belgium because now they cut the borders like this. If you're good, they ban you. They try to take always the love from the east to fly against it. It's politics in the highest form.
Right.
And I have my yearling team. I kept the big yearling team. I have some late breds, which I don't know yet if I'm going to fly them, but I moved to a bigger team because last year I lose because of the small team I have. I try to raise 3 birds on every national race. Yeah, and if you lose 2, you have 1 left and you have no backup plan. So if they're gonna be national sections on sprint and middle distance, I think my team for flying sprint will be bigger. That's the
Yeah.
goal then, because it will be more honest. It will be less dependable on the wind. I think we get a big release of pigeons. So, but it's all with a big question mark. Maybe it's too early this year. If they do it next year, for sure. Yeah, and for the rest, I'm going to do the same. For the plan is to do the same next season, to fly the nationals, but with select groups. Of course, at the beginning, I will fly the whole team and then immediately select small groups. And the only thing I promised myself this year, and I did it several times, but never kept my own promise, I'm gonna basket 3 pigeons on every race. Because now, if my son has to play basketball, I don't basket or
Right.
whatever. But now I have this year so many championships, I lose with a few points. And if you don't participate, you cannot win.
Right.
And always at the end of the season, because during the season, everybody say, oh, you're doing well. But to my own feeling, it should be better and it should be this. But then at the end of the year, you draw a line and you start looking. And then you think, oh, it was actually not so bad. I could have won this and could have won that. And that are excuses afterwards. But that's something I wrote it on the wall of my pigeon loft. Don't give up and believe in yourself. And that's the main goal. And yeah, we will see.
Are you thinking about any one loft races races this year?
I don't know yet. I didn't send any last year. I only bred one for an Irish friend of me, and
Right.
it was the first Irish bird ace pigeon of second year in a row on the Golden Algarve. So that was nice. It's 2 times also the same family. Uh, but yeah, the one loft race, and I like it a lot. But you have to breed an extra round for it, send them, and yeah, maybe we discussed it last time. For me, the one loft racing, I love the concept because I always, when I travel there with my girlfriend, see the race, meet people. I love that idea. It's the nicest thing there is. It's nicer than club racing for me. But I won now in like in less than 5 years, 3 or 4 finals, 4 or 5 times first ace pigeon. So the results are really good. The only thing I'm missing in that story is I have no clue what I'm doing. You
Uh,
know what I mean? Now, also, if you look at my auction, it are all proven breeders. They breed a top 10 ace pigeon, a semi-final, good position. They have, it's not one day wonders. They have that, but, and it's all basically to the gust and the same crossing, but I have
yeah.
no clue. One year it's that one, then it's that one. It's hard to, when you do club racing and you have a good pair, you can build from it. And I've tried that, and yeah, and sometimes you dominate the race, and then the next year you do terrible. And then I think, how is that possible?
Yeah, it's difficult. There's no perfect science behind one loft racing. Your pigeons have to be motivated, ready, and healthy on the day of the race, and you're not in any control of that. There's a lot of different factors for it, for sure. But that's why I was curious because, I don't know if I was in your shoes in Belgium and I was flying there. competing, I don't know if I would do one-off racing. I may send out a few to some of the big races, but I still, for me personally,
Mhm.
flying them here, there's no better feeling than
No, true,
your
but I like
partnership.
the concept of one-off racing. That's something I like after the season because in Europe, most finals are September, October. We have done racing and then travel to Portugal or Spain or have been to Pattaya also and do New Year's Eve on the beach.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
fun.
it's fantastic. And you're with pigeon finishers and you gather, you see everybody instead of always texting or on the messenger.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe I have now a few questions to make a syndicate. So if I would breed the birds for them, and maybe that's something I'm gonna do. Yeah, I don't know. I would like to send to one or two races, but
Yeah, that is the main thing about one-off racing. If you're able to go to the final races and see people, it's definitely a lot of fun. There's a few that I go to here in the States
yeah.
are great. Well, I think we've covered most of the questions I have, and do you have any new goals for this upcoming year with the racing season other than sending three birds to every race? Are you targeting anything this year new?
Or it it happens what you like this year. I probably had a better season than last year. I think in
Yeah.
general, an average. But the thing is, last year every week I win a big win. You know, I win, I think, four provincials, three national zones, the big national in an incredible way. And that's what people see because with those victories, you're on the first page of the newspaper. And then they say, and now, okay, I was second provincial, third provincial, always yeah, just missing that 1%. And so maybe next year, but you cannot order it, but maybe another big victory. Everything starts by winning a provincial race. And then depending what I'm going to do, on the sprint races, uh, there is some work to do there to get them in and to, yeah, I have many things to learn on sprint, I noticed. So maybe that's something I'm going to focus on. But yeah,
Yeah, that's
maybe I'm gonna focus also because Barcelona last year was fantastic because I didn't do anything with that group for 2 years, and I was really happy with that result. And we have a nice group for next year, so maybe that's something. If the start is good and you see there, you know, when they hit it off from the start, you can. It was the same this year. Immediately I saw, oh, that group is in top condition, and we sent them, and so maybe that is also one of the main things this year. If everything goes like planned, to try to do better than last year on Barcelona, that would also be really nice.
people watching that aren't as familiar with Belgium need to understand how difficult it is to do well in one of the disciplines, whether it's sprint, middle distance, or long distance, or extreme long distance. It's difficult to do well in just one of them. But what you're trying to do to be competitive and at the top at sprint, and also have the goal of being competitive and at the top of
Mhm.
Barcelona, those are extremely hard challenges and high goals. And developing a pigeon
Yeah.
that can do both those things, that's impressive. An
No,
impressive
but
challenge.
yeah, but you have to do it. And if you try it like now this year, I'm champion in every discipline. I send pigeons to sprint, to the nationals, to the one day national, the marathon, in all four categories. I'm the champion of the club. So it's nice. It means you have a stable level and you weren't just a participant, you know,
Right.
but everything can be better. And yeah, you need also some luck. And now, yeah, but especially now Barcelona is the difficult one because 650 miles, tough conditions. They cross the Pyrenees and stuff like that, the big mountains. Yeah, so that's maybe a goal for next year to do. This year was really we had three in the top 100. I was very happy with it. So let's hope we can do the same or maybe better.
Do you have any plans to come over to the States? Are you going to be at the Tampa for the AU convention, do
Yeah,
you think?
Yellow Rosiers was bugging me today. He was sending pictures from Miami. He
Yeah.
was now in Miami, so I said next time you better take me. Uh, no, I hope to go to the US next year again. I was there last year in Spring Hill, so I hope now to see some friends in LA or in New Jersey. we will see how it goes. But time is most of the problem,
Right.
with all the kids and
Yes.
playing basketball. You don't
Yes.
want to miss out that, because I already miss out a lot in the racing season, because birds come first in the racing season. I most of the times. So I also now have my priorities in winter time. Like now
Yes.
Jake plays basketball. I try not to miss any games. So yeah,
That's good.
but
Well, I know.
definitely USA is on the plan. It's my favorite country to go to. So
Yeah, the AU convention is going to be in Tampa, so I'm definitely
yeah,
going.
I think Eric Alvarez is organizing it. I was
Yeah,
with him last year in Spring Hill. So
I'm
yeah, it will
definitely
be fun.
looking to be there. So if you can get to the
Mhm.
AU convention, I think that'll be a lot of fun. There'll be a lot of people, a lot
Yeah,
of friends to
it would
see
be
there.
fun. Yeah, and it's a fantastic area also in Tampa, because I was there and they have all the Cubans and all racing there. It's the atmosphere is fantastic with those guys.
Right. Yeah.
Eating, drinking. I really liked it over there.
Yeah. It's a
So it's
lot of
definitely
fun.
gonna be good, and they are so motivated. Those guys training
Yeah.
twice a day, always with the birds. Yeah, a lot of talent in that area.
Right. Yeah. It's tough competition for sure. So, um, for those that don't know, Ulrich and I share the passion for basketball, and one of the things that I love watching is the Oklahoma City Thunder in the NBA. They won the NBA championship last year. They're dominating this year, but a fun fact for everybody who's not
Yeah,
is not as familiar. Let's talk about AJ and what
Mitchell.
AJ Mitchell and what he's been able to do. He's Belgian, playing in Oklahoma here in
Yeah.
the US. He won a
Sixth man
championship
of the
last.
year candidate at
Yeah.
the moment.
Now, now
They
he's
should stop
playing.
starting him, put him back sixth man. He has a big chance of winning it.
Yeah, he's been incredible. So I think
Yeah,
of you whenever I see him excelling because he's having an excellent year. So I just want
yeah.
to
You
say
need to
that.
help me to get a jersey from him, because we can buy jerseys from him from in Belgium.
Really?
No, we can, because I ordered, one of my friends sent me over one from Camara. He's also the Belgium starter for the Trailblazers for Portland. And now I was looking to order one from Mitchell, but also in the NBA store, I don't really see it
Well,
to get one.
that's
So
yeah, that's
if
no problem.
anybody can help me, it would be a nice Christmas present for my son. He's
You
waiting for it.
you got it. You need to message me what size you want, and I'll take
So,
care of the rest.
his father, Barry Mitchell, he was a very good American basketball player in Belgium. And
That's
when I had the age of my son now, my parents took me to see Barry Mitchell, his father.
that's
And
great.
now I'm watching AJ with my son. So it's a little bit like pigeon sport,
Yeah.
generations.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's finish up with this question, and I've asked you this in the past, but maybe you know maybe you'll have something different this time. As far as there's a lot of new pigeon fanciers watching, guys that really need help. What
Mhm.
is your best piece of advice for somebody new to start off right and have success?
Common sense is the number one, but it's difficult for most people, I notice. But uh, especially don't make a bunch of pigeons in one coop from all different lofts. Try to work with the same, trust somebody, get some pigeons there. Good birds don't have to be expensive. I love my selling mine as expensive as possible, but to be honest, my best young bird last year, I bought the father, 8-time first prize winner from a local loft on a public auction. I bought it for €60. So it is possible, you know what I mean? But I
Yeah,
think most important in pigeon sport is that you don't have 20 different bloodlines in one loft, because I noticed that people, they buy, and then throw it together in one loft, and it often, most of the times, doesn't work. And the biggest problem, and I also said yesterday on the seminar, I shocked a lot of people by saying it, but the problem is also the pedigree birds. If you see now online, there are thousands of pigeons online, but how many pigeons people buy where the father or the mother never been in a basket or never bred something, just because it's a grandchild of, and then you're gonna fly or resell the children of that bird. And there are so many good birds for sale, proven ones, and the statistics prove that you have more chance breeding from a good bird than from a nephew or a niece from, because the pedigrees also, they all fill it up. I do the same. It's a brother of, a nephew of, a sister of, to fill the gap of lack of results. But if you have to start over, I would look for proven birds from winners. And also, I like all the theories of the eyes. I also like beautiful birds, and I think Devil Goose is fantastic. The Stitch is less beautiful, but at the end, only the results count. And when I look for a pigeon, when I buy, and the owner all has, for example, deep pigeons with a deep fin bones, then I try to buy a similar bird. But you have people, they go to a loft and they have 100 blue bars, and they leave the loft with a red one. And for me, it can be a super bird, but I would never do that. I only go and I see and I try to buy what's actually winning. And of course, like I said, I like to sell mine expensive as possible, but it doesn't have to be. If you look around and you trust some people, you also been to Belgium, Jeff. You saw it, all the people where we don't know of who fly great. And for
Right.
example, now Josh Adamy,
Yeah.
2 years ago, he wasn't selling birds, and he was 27 years in a row champion of the club.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's the sickness of this generation. They all want pedigrees because it's nice to brag about. Plus, if it's not a good bird, they can resell it and shove it to somebody else and recover the money, or they can immediately sell some children and recover the money. That's how the new pigeon sport works. We have
Yeah.
more sellers than buyers.
Yeah, absolutely. And the markets get oversaturated with bloodlines. And so
Mhm.
it's good to have friends like yourself who you can talk to and bounce ideas off of and talk about pigeons and bloodlines. And
Mhm.
I recommend people that are interested in your pigeons, go check out the EPAEurope.com auction. You have some super birds on here, and birds that are out of champions or out or have raced themselves. So
Mhm.
if people want something that's, something that's performed, you have an opportunity here, and you have an opportunity to get breeders too. And so
Mhm.
I've handled these pigeons at Ulrich's Loft. I know the quality that you have and the standards that you keep for your pigeons, and I think people would be smart to contact you. How can people contact you if they want to talk to you?
Messenger, WhatsApp, whatever. Normally, I'm quite quick of replying, but they can just text me through Facebook or WhatsApp. And normally, if they consider the time difference between us, I'm always going to bed and you're waking up. So,
Yes. Yeah.
no, but man,
Yeah.
thank you for the advertisement, Jeff.
No, of course. No, of
Yeah.
course. I wouldn't do the advertising if I didn't believe in what you're doing, and I've handled your birds, and I know how hard you work at it. So I feel confident in sending people your direction for birds advice. Overall, you're a good
Yeah,
guy
thank
that's
you.
good for the sport. So.
I'm almost blushing.
Well, hopefully, I'll get to see you again soon in the next year, maybe
Would
this
be
summer or
great.
next summer or something like that. I'll come
Mhm.
over there again and hopefully get to see you in the States at some point. But
Absolutely.
keep me updated on how things are going for you, and have you back on again soon.
Great.
Ulrich
Thank you,
Lemmens,
Jeff. Take
thank you, my
care.
friend.
Bye.
All right, bye bye.